Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's book review and basically Blind Woman reviews. Welcome, all of you to this review. Funny story, I was originally going to record this and schedule this out for November, but I'm deciding to put it out now. So, yeah, thought it was a fun story. Anyway, I am reviewing the first book in the Dragon Prince series. It is called Moon, and I'm going to read the description and then I'm going to talk to you about it because there's a lot I want to say about this. With their world on the brink of war, three young heroes from opposite sides of the conflict embark on a dangerous quest that could change everything. This beautiful book expands on the events of season 1 of the hit Netflix show The Dragon Prince. Moon Shadow elven assassin Rayla has bound herself to a mission: kill the human king Harrow and the young prince Ezran. But before she can complete her task, Rayla witnesses Ezran and his brother Callum make an astonishing discovery. The dragon egg the world thought was destroyed is in fact intact. This is their chance. If Rayla, Callum, and Ezran can return the egg of the Dragon Prince to its mother in the magical land of Zadia, peace could be restored. Their journey will be dangerous. The trio must fight off menacing beasts and the evil mage Viren, who wants to use the egg for dark magic. But Rayla, Callum, and Ezran soon learn that the most serious threat to their quest can't be fought with magic or physical strength. If there's hope for restoring peace, they first have to overcome the long-standing hatred between humans and elves. Show creator Aaron Ehasz expands on the events of season 1 of the show in this epic novel, a must for all fans of The Dragon Prince. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I am an adult woman. I am an adult, as of now, 21-year-old woman. And I love this series. I love The Dragon Prince. I have watched all 3 seasons. I am anxiously waiting for season 4. And trust me when I tell you I'm a really big fan of this series. And you guys know I'm an adult woman who loves anime and cartoons. You saw me react to 6 episodes of Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle, and you're seeing me react to Ouran High School Host Club, which is basically a show kind of made for teenagers, but it still holds up, in my opinion, and you cannot tell me otherwise, as an awesome show, even though it's been a little bit over a decade since its original release. Okay, guys, I'm an adult woman who is a really big fan of cartoons, and I'm not ashamed because this is awesome. Without a doubt, The Dragon Prince is an awesome series, and I will react to it hopefully sometime in the future, but I just want to say that it's awesome. One of the other things I like is adaptations or novelizations of the things I watch. I like to read books. If there are books written about things I watch, I enjoy reading them. For example, I read there's an author, I think his name is Alex Irvine. He wrote a bunch of novelizations of the Marvel movies, and in high school those were some of my favorite things to read. I will not deny that because I could not watch the movies, I basically experienced them through the novelization. This author, for the record, Alex Irvine, also wrote a what did he write? He also wrote a like a video game novelization for Batman Arkham Knight. I think that's the video game Arkham Knight. And he wrote that novelization, and it was great. It was fun to read. But anyway, this is not about that. This is about Moon, which is the novelization / expansion of season 1 of The Dragon Prince. I really feel like I should have watched the show in preparation, but I think I remember enough to review this book. First, I think this book was written well. This book is written for younger kids, probably middle grade, no older than middle grade, honestly. No older than middle grade. You have probably an 8 to 11-year-old boy and Callum, who's basically like a teenager. I think Callum is no more than 16. So this is written kind of in, the writing style of this is for younger audiences, middle grade and lower. But considering the show is technically targeted to a younger audience, in my opinion, it makes sense. It makes sense that this book is written for a younger audience as well. I mean, it can be enjoyed by an adult like me, so it kind of works. It's fine. It's perfectly doable in my opinion. So it's written with that frame of mind. However, it doesn't stop it from being a good book. It's a pretty well written book, and it discusses themes I like. I don't think it goes as deep, either the show or the book goes as deep as like other shows would have gone on these themes, but they are for a younger audience. But then again, that's also no argument, since Avatar: The Last Airbender also went on themes like that that are discussed here, but it was technically targeted to a younger audience, but it actually did it much better anyway. But I like the show in premise and in everything else. It's magical, it's beautiful. The book itself does expand in teeny tiny parts. Like, it does expand certain parts of the universe that the Dragon Prince starts building up. For example, we find out about the unicorns and how the humans learned magic. We find out other little things that just didn't show up in the show that I felt would have made the show actually a lot better, if we're being honest. I mean, the show is already awesome and great, but I think that the details that were added in this book would have actually made the original source material, the Netflix show, actually a whole lot better. We learn about how what really started what really started the animosity between humans and magical creatures, which I actually think was awesome, because I think this was something that was important to learn, and we don't fully learn that or delve into that in the show from what I remember. So due to that, I do think that the book is, when reading it, it is marginally better than the show, but they both have good points in their defense, I think. And the show was the original source material, and the thing is that with the book you get into the head of the characters, and I think that's the best part about reading a book, because in the show doesn't let you get into the head of the characters that you are following, and due to that, it makes it hard to it makes it hard to think what your characters are thinking. But that's why the visual aspects come in, and they demonstrate but the shows in general, I think, do best at the showing and telling, and displaying reactions mainly visually, which is not something I can count on. But for any blind viewers out there, the Dragon Prince is audio described, as you should know, because it's a Netflix original. So you will get a lot of the visual aspects, and you should be able to interpret them perfectly. But I do think the book is marginally better, because there are like in the prologue especially, things that would have been great to be revealed in the show. Now, it can be argued that perhaps it's being saved for later in the show, because there are 6 primal stones, right? So presumably it's kind of styled, presumably there are going to be 6 seasons. It's for kind of like for each primal stone, because it's styled as books, book 1 and book 2. So as even like in the show, when you're watching it, says book 1 and book 2. So when it is styled in a way like Avatar: The Last Airbender, but it follows a different story. And actually, the guy that voices Callum voices Sokka, on Avatar: The Last Airbender. So it works out in that form. So presumably there will be 3 more seasons of the Dragon Prince. So it can be debated that some of the information shared on this first book could be revealed in flashbacks, in things like that. So if any, that could be argued. However, if that was the case, why bring it up right away in the first book? I mean, I guess you can argue that because the book is called Moon, and there's a primal stone that's the moon, and there's a reason to do that. But I guess the show is probably bringing it later. But since it's technically a novelization / expansion of season 1, I don't know. I don't know what the placement. One thing that I was actually worried about initially, this is my second time reading this book, but when I read it the first time, initially one of the things that I was worried about was the way they would write Amaya in the book. But Amaya was written very well, I think, in this book, and I thought that was awesome, the way that she was written. Because in the show and in the book, of course, but in the show, she is a deaf character who and she can read lips, but she can also sign, which I think is awesome. But she is an important character in the show, and she also holds importance in the family and the role that she plays, although minor, because she's not one of the main characters, she's one of the side characters, was actually a great role, and I was worried about how she was going to be written in these books. But I was actually very happy with the way she was written, and the way that so very matter-of-factly it was explained that she's deaf. Again, even though it is targeted for a younger audience, I like the way that it, even both in the show and in the book, Amaya's deafness is not made a big deal of. There are some shows and movies and even books, in a way, I haven't read them, but there are some that make a pretty big deal over the disability, and they do not always represent the disability correctly. And it seems like I don't know everything. I don't know about how out of everything, but like, it seems like they did represent her well, and they just matter-of-factly said that she's deaf, and they didn't make it a big deal, which I think is important in that way, and especially because this is a fantasy setting. So it's just something that, she's deaf, it, that's all you need to know, and she signs. That's literally all you need to know. That's all that matters. That's basically kind of the way that they made it. So I was perfectly okay with that, but I don't know how other deaf people reacted to this. So I do think if you want to get a complete some form of an idea, I would definitely see if you can find any creators who happen to be deaf who may have watched this show and even read the book, and see if they agree with the representation. So yeah, I overall love this book. I think the characters in the books are well developed. Just like the show, the book gets to the point, and I think the themes of prejudice that are addressed well for a younger audience, but could have been addressed better, but it's good enough. And I think that's something I can do that. I can go with something like that. It's good enough, but it can be done. It could have been done better, but it is good enough for now. Or not even for now, but just good enough in general. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on Moon, and let me know in the comment section anything. If you are going to bring up spoilers, I think I brought up some light spoilers in the video, but I can't remember now because, again, I don't actually script these videos when I record. I just start recording and talking, and that's why, yeah, that's what I do. So let me know your thoughts. Like and subscribe if you're interested in more content. I post at least once a week. And if you have any requests, also let me know down there or in private. Follow my social media. Check out the description for links. And with that, I will see you in my next video. Bye!